this is my Chinese made 30-ton log splitter. So I had a couple of people asking for a review of this machine from the first Chinese log splitter versus Australian eucalyptus video. So I thought we'd do a quick walk around and a review. This machine is 10 years old. I bought it when it was 3 years old from a friend who was leaving the area and didn't need it anymore. It's a HVLS, or a horizontal vertical log splitter, but I mostly use it in this position, which is the horizontal position. So 7 years of service. It hasn't really let me down. It's got a Chinese Honda clone, 6.5 horse. I believe it's 11 gallons a minute. It is quite slow, but 30 tons of splitting force is pretty good. The only thing that's really let me down on it was it is electric start. However, the electric start was not working when I got it. It wasn't charging the battery, so that's been removed, and it's just a normal pull start, which at 6.5 horse is easy enough to do. So it's a Miller's Falls Worker brand, or TWM, but this basic platform here, this Chinese splitter, is sold here in Australia in lots and lots of different brand names. So anywhere from Miller's Falls, TWM, it's Black Diamond, Red Gum splitters. The difference being that Red Gums have a genuine Honda engine. That Bauer Ag from Edison's Machinery, sold through eBay. It's all basically the same machine. New retail on one of these is just a tick under 2,000 Australian dollars, which I think is pretty reasonable. It's about the standard price for one of these splitters. So what do I like about it? Well, it saves your back for one, it saves your shoulders. It makes splitting hard Australian eucalypt or Australian hardwood timbers a lot easier. Apologies for the wind. And it just means that you can split wood longer because it just reduces the effort. Things I don't like about it, one, the speed. It is quite slow. It has like a 19-second, I believe, cycle time, and some of the build quality isn't great. You can see on this top section here, these sort of side plates both have fairly decent bends in them. That was when I got lazy one day and dropped a very big yellow box round out of the bucket of the Bobcat onto this splitter, and it damaged it. This main hydraulic line, I believe, needs to be redesigned. When the machine's running and it's under pressure, this line comes up and it sits almost parallel with the exit of the exhaust, so you need to keep an eye on that. And also when you flip it into the vertical position, you really need to be careful with the hose because it can bind up, so it probably needs a swivel coupling or something similar to get rid of that problem. In the last 7 seasons, I've probably split in excess of 150 cubic meters, 50 to 55 cords if you're in America, of wood, and 90% of that was Australian hardwood. I haven't found anything yet that it wouldn't split, which is great. One of the other things I don't like about it is it doesn't have a hydraulic filter on it. So as I mentioned, this particular platform is sold under a lot of different brands, which means you can often add parts from other brand machines. For example, this side table, which is now only a season and a bit old, this is actually from Red Gum. It's an option on the Red Gum splitter, which just attaches with a little bracket here and a single bolt on each side. So that was very easy to fit. It's a bolt down there, which increases production. It means that you can put the larger pieces on the table and not have to keep picking them up off the ground, and again save your back a bit more. I start off always lubricating the bed here. There are nylon sort of sliders in here, which are designed obviously to wear before the steel wears, but I start off with it's an 80-20 mix, so 80% waste oil and 20% bar oil, and I just sort of squeeze that out along the bed, cycle it a few times before I start splitting, and then every half an hour to 45 minutes or so I'll give it another dose of oil just to keep everything lubricated and try and reduce the wear. It has a detent valve for an auto return. Let's push this way to split, and then it locks in as the ram retracts, and then once the pressure builds up it clicks off. I'm having some trouble with that at the moment, and I'm playing around with the adjustment to try and find a sweet spot, because until the machine's fully warm it doesn't like to stay in the retracted position. So overall, pretty happy. Would I buy another one? Look, I think for the price, yes. I have been shopping around to try and find an Australian-made log splitter. There are a couple on the market, but the cheapest I can get into one of those is about 8,000 Australian dollars, which is basically the 4 times the cost of one of these. So even if this splitter only lasted 5 years and you had to replace it, you still got a lot of years of splitting. You know, I love to support Australian business where I can, but obviously doing that comes at a cost. So with the table from another brand fitting, I started to think to myself, what else from other brands might fit? Now, I mentioned earlier I don't particularly like the speed of this machine. It's quite slow. It's very expensive for me to remedy that, like bigger engine, bigger flow pump, etc. So I thought maybe I could make a 4-way splitting wedge, so that'd potentially double or even triple the output of this machine. Then I was looking on the Edison's website, edisons.com.au, that sell the Bauer AG equipment, and their machine has a 4-way wedge as an option. So I did some googling, some measuring, some guessing, and I've ordered one to try it. So it's come in this lovely packaging box, so we're going to bust it out and see if it fits. So it's essentially a slip-on 4-way wedge with welded on wings. Not the highest quality, but probably better than I could make myself. So it's a bit of a gamble. This was 125 Australian dollars plus about $30 shipping, because it is about 5 kilos, and it is designed to slip over the wedge and then fasten with a bolt through here to pinch against the back of the splitting wedge. So now, hopefully, my gamble pays off and we'll fit it. It should fit. Yes. Okay, right, so that's a good fit. It's probably a little bit high from the bed to the underneath the wing for the size of wood I like to split. I guess I could lift the wood into place. Yeah, that seems to fit. Yeah, that fits really well. Really well. So a bolt would go in here to, I guess, pinch it against the splitting wedge. There is no hole in the back of this, so I might, depending on how it goes, I might have to drill a hole in there so the bolt will secure better. It didn't come with the bolt, but I'm going to trial it just as it is, just as a slip-on, and see if it actually works. So I've got 2 different sizes and 2 different varieties of wood here. This has been down about a week, so it's still green. So I'm just going to give it a try. Probably 5 inches and then about 8 to 10. So I'll give it a run without the bolt. Just take it nice and slow, and we'll see what we get. I'm pretty happy with that actually. Yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, that's only obviously 4 test pieces, but it didn't struggle. It wasn't under any extreme load. The wedge didn't pop off. Still able to remove it with the smaller pieces. Yeah, kind of small-ish. But like I say, as a test, yeah, wow, actually I really like that. Yeah, great. So if you do have a Chinese made log splitter that is a similar platform to this, with this sort of triangle style wedge here, then this 4-way wedge from Edison's for $125 plus shipping or pickup if you're close to them. Looks like a good investment. So an Edison's 4-way splitting wedge, a red gum table on a completely different brand Chinese log splitter. So yeah, that's a pretty good success. So there you go. That's a long-term review of my Chinese Miller's Falls, TWM, red gum, Baumag, Hemel, whatever other brand you want, Chinese log splitter. Hope it was informative. Hope you got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.